last Saturday, my whole world changed. So last Saturday at approximately 12:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, there was a massive barn fire at the Dundee Ranch, which is located in Bell Center, Ohio, and is home of Brant and Priest performance horses. And my horse, Starlight's Gunman, or Henry, as he was affectionately known, was at that training facility and had been there for nearly a year. The fire ended up killing 44 horses, including my horse, Henry. It also took the life of a dog and left 4 assistant trainers homeless and left 2 prominent reining horse trainers without a facility and without income. You all know that I don't have children. My animals, including my Bernese Mountain Dogs and my horse, are my children. So I just needed an outlet to talk about what happened from the perspective of someone who I consider myself a dinkwad, dual income, no kids with a dog, but you can also say dual income, no kids with a horse. And it's really still difficult to talk about. I just said last night when we were out to dinner with family, oh, my horse, has this or that. And then I caught myself and I was like, oh, I don't actually have a horse anymore. And I don't think people realize the amount and type of grief that losing an animal brings. The scale of this tragedy is just so large, and yet it is dwarfed in comparison to the amount of grief that myself and the other owners who lost horses, the staff, the trainers, and really the whole equine industry has been feeling the last week. The story ran on a national news program, and of course that news program posted it to their Facebook page, and the comment section on the Facebook page was absolutely horrific to read as someone who has personally lost something in this tragedy. There were people that were saying that the trainers started the fire on purpose for the insurance money. There were people saying that horses should never be kept in a stall. They need to be able to run free, and who would dare trap these poor animals inside of this facility. There were people that were saying, why didn't people do more to get them out? Why didn't people help? And people were saying, why weren't there security measures in place within the facility itself, sprinkler systems, etc.? And I want to address those today. And again, I'm not the owner of the facility, but I have been a horse owner for almost 30 years. And I wanted to just explain to people in the general public why those comments are so ignorant. First of all, there were security measures in place. Was it the most up-to-date facility? No. However, there were firewalls, there were sprinkler systems. Those items are designed for getting people out, like maybe saving one more life. They're not designed to keep fires contained to the point where you can get 40, 50 horses out, 40, 50 people. That's not what they're designed to do. The fire, from what I've been told from the people that were there, once the toxic fumes had breached the firewalls, the entire place was consumed with those fumes within 6 seconds. The entire facility itself was gone within 3 minutes. So how much can you get done in 6 seconds? How much can you get done in 3 minutes? The other thing that people don't understand is that horses and most livestock will not leave a place that they feel safe. And they feel safe in their stalls in a barn. My trainer tried to go back in and save some of his horses, some of the clients' horses, including mine. And he opened the stall door and he tried to chase the horse out of the stall, and the horse would not leave because that's its safe space. That's what it knows. And there's so many other stories out there that you can look up online where the horse will be forced out of the barn and they will run back in. They will run back into a burning building just to get back to their safe space. In addition to that, the smoke, I'm told, was so thick, it was like walking into pitch darkness. Coupled together, it would have been nearly impossible, and was impossible, to get any horses out that weren't already outside when it happened. And my trainer that did try to go back in and save them, he's currently still in the hospital because he sustained 2nd and 3rd degree burns as a result of him running back into a burning, melting building. And in my eyes, as far as I'm concerned, he's an absolute hero. He should have never gone back into that building, even though obviously as an owner of one of those animals, I desperately wanted it to be saved. But he should have never done that. But he did. And for that, he's my hero. And for people who said that they would have suffered, some cases of fire, yes, they do burn to death. But in this case, the toxic fumes is what probably killed most of the horses. And it was a blessing to know that, because in those cases, they just would have fallen asleep. So they didn't feel any pain. They did not burn to death. They did not suffer. And I also heard from eyewitnesses that day that there were no screams. There was no whinnying. The barn was silent, meaning that the horses were not scared. They didn't feel anything. They were gone before they really even knew what was happening. And so as an owner, that was the most important thing to me to know. Did my horse suffer? And was he scared? And it was really comforting to know that neither of those were the case. I'm sorry. I do want to say that the agricultural community and the horse community have been phenomenally supportive and phenomenally generous after this tragedy. The amount of love, support, and kindness that has been shown to not only the trainers and the staff at the barn, but also to us owners that lost our beloved equine family members has just been overwhelming. And while none of that is ever going to replace what we lost, I'm so proud to be part of the agricultural community and the equine community and know that there are actually still good people out there. And I think, or at least I hope, that even if you're not a horse person, you can at least think about how devastating it would be. Replace the word horse with dog, cat, child, anything. That's how we feel. That's how us owners feel. Me not having any human children. Henry was my child, and I loved him desperately. All the horses that died that day are buried on site in a common grave, so that also gives me peace, knowing that he's not alone and knowing that there's a space that I can go and I can see him when I want to. There's also the financial burden to consider. A lot of these horses were not insured, and so that means that the money that they were worth, that we maybe could have gotten from them if we had chosen to sell them at some point, is lost. Even some of those that were insured, some companies and some policies, didn't cover mortality. We lost tack that is quite expensive to replace. For a lot of us that are in this industry, this isn't our full-time job. We have jobs that support this hobby, and sometimes we give it everything we have as far as discretionary income and then some. So to lose what we had and then not be able to afford to replace it, a lot of dreams are potentially lost. A lot of ability to do what we love and to ride is potentially lost if we can't replace it. The horse community has been incredibly generous and supportive in setting up GoFundMes for the trainers and meal trains and, tack that is being donated to make them whole again and to help with medical bills and things like that. I do want people to remember, though, that, the owners of these horses are the ones that support the livelihoods of these trainers. So even if they have a brand new barn, if they don't have owners that have horses to fill it, they still don't have a business. So it's a big ripple effect, and all of those ripples need to be addressed and supported in order to make these people whole again. So I would love and encourage, if you're watching this, if you do feel called and you are able, to please help with the different assistance that is available out there. I'll put all the links in the video description below. And I know I don't have a large audience, but there's 208 of you out there who are real people who like what I'm doing, and I love you so much for that, and I appreciate you so much for that. If you don't contribute, absolutely fine. Just watching this video and maybe learning something about this tragedy and learning to be kinder to people about things like this when they happen and not judge, that's great. That's all I could ask for. And if you do feel called or able to give something, bless you, honestly, really and truly. It means the world to the trainers, the staff, the horse horse owners, everybody. I just wanted to come on and share it with you guys, whoever would be watching this. And if that's nobody, that's fine too. It's healing for me to just talk about it out loud, even if I'm talking to myself. But I hope if you are listening out there, I hope that if you do have horses, hug them a little tighter tonight, say a prayer, be grateful for them, that they're still there with you. Look into fire safety precautions for your barns. It's not going to necessarily guarantee, nobody can guarantee that those are going to help save every animal that you have. Animal grief is a real thing, and losing these animals, they are our family members. They are more than just pets. They are more than just a hobby. And even if they are somebody's livelihood, they still love them desperately or they wouldn't do it. It's not an industry that you get into because you want life to be easy. You have to love the animal first. And for us owners, these horses mean the world to us. And to lose them so quickly like this, it's just absolutely gut-wrenching. I can't even explain to you, unless you've been through it, there's no way. I wouldn't have known. I would not have been able to empathize with somebody in my position prior to last Saturday. And it is really healing, even if it is unfortunate, to have so many other owners who are going through the same thing so that we can band together and talk about it, because we are the only ones that know how this feels. So I guess that's it. If you have suffered loss like this, animal loss, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, take the time you need to grieve in the way that you feel is best. And to everybody out there who has lost a pet or an animal that they consider a member of their family, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for your loss. No one should ever have to go through this kind of tragedy, but know that you're not alone, and know that there is someone else out there that feels the same kind of pain that you feel. And if you don't have anyone else to talk to, you can talk to me. Send me a comment, send me a DM, send me an email. All my information is in the video description below. I'm happy to talk about it because I feel like that's really healing. So that's all I wanted to say today. I do plan on getting back to my regularly scheduled type of content next week, and I know this video isn't going to be for everybody, and that's okay. I hope you'll stay with me and not unsubscribe just for this. It's just something I needed to get off of my chest and speak from the heart about. And just know that to my 208 subscribers, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful for you. And for anyone else that's watching, hug your unicorns tight, never take them for granted, and God bless.